What's up, YouTube? Back with another video, man. Sonic King Fit, man. And today, I'm gonna take you guys into my workout, like what I really think along the lines when I'm working out, what I'm looking to do, how I build, how I train. So today, we're gonna focus on strength training. Now, I said in the past, you should train for all three. You need to train for strength, hypertrophy, and endurance. And I still feel that way. But if I could only choose one of the three, I'm always training for strength. Strength is what you should train for first, and you should always be strong enough. Guys, you want to be as strong as you look, or even more, you want to be stronger than you look. If you look strong, and people see how strong you actually are versus how strong you look, it's more impressive to be stronger than you look. I'd rather be stronger than I look. And I look strong, but some people see me work out and I'm stronger than I look. So you want to maintain strength as like your number one asset in the gym. That's just bottom line facts. Hypertrophy gives you a lot of muscle. And you see guys in the gym, you see guys doing calisthenics, but there's nothing that can replace strength. And not just that, strength will still build muscle. Okay, you don't necessarily get stronger as strong building hypertrophy. So you want to maintain your strength and always build on your strength gains. So here's what we're gonna do today. First thing we're gonna do a little bit of press, and then we're gonna do some incline reps, weighted, right? We're gonna get on the incline pull-up bar, and I'm gonna climb and let you guys see me climb. I'll probably start off with a 25 for a couple sets, and then we'll go to the 45 for a couple sets. You see me do it in the past. This time I'll just do the climbing. I might do 1 or 2 sets of pull-ups at the end, but I'm gonna just show you climbing. Because if you wanna be strong, if you wanna build strength, you need to be able to explode. You can't do a muscle up without exploding. If you want to learn how to muscle up, I got videos on that. I'll dive deeper into that later. But if you want to be able to muscle up, if you want to be strong, you need to know how to explode. If you want to have a heavy bench, you need to know how to explode. Those are really, really key important factors. If you can't explode, there's no way you could be able to, you'll never have a 315 bench. You'll never be able to muscle up. So I'm going to show you guys how to explode. It's just a surge of energy. You got to be willing to just explode with it and go. And don't be afraid to fail. Nobody's ever exploded when it comes to working out in the gym, or whether it's muscle ups or doing a heavy bench or a heavy routine. Nobody's ever done it without failing. I promise you, every one of us has probably failed at least once or twice. So just keep that in mind. So we're gonna try to build a video, and hopefully I can keep the music out of the background so YouTube doesn't flag it. And I'm gonna put this content out. This is gonna be really, really good. I'll be on the floor. So you guys, subscribe to the video, drop a like, drop a comment, tell me what you think about the content I'm putting out. Because after we do the pull-ups, so like I said, I'll do we'll do the climbing, the incline climbing with weighted. All right. Then we'll probably do a few regular sets of just regular pull-ups weighted, just regular pulls weighted. Then we'll do some incline bench, right? I might hit 1 or 2 sets of decline as well. Then I'm gonna hit more pull-ups, and then I'm gonna do some dips, which you guys have, I don't think, ever seen me do. So I feel ready to go for this competition in Houston in 2 days, but I'm gonna get one more solid heavy workout in before I head on down there. So you guys subscribe to the channel, drop a like, drop a comment, and this is gonna be some really, really good content, so you're gonna wanna check it out. Don't miss out on this one. This is some heavy duty stuff. We'll see y'all in a minute. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Sonic King Fit, back for another video. Guys, this was one of my best workouts. I was really, really feeling good. So you see, we opened with some pull-ups weighted, and I really, really, really felt good getting this video going. I did some things that I've never done before today, so I definitely made some gains during the video recording, and not just that, we went for a PR and we also hit a PR. So I am very, very pleased with the outcome of this video. And as I said in the preview, I wanted to dive into how I explode. So you guys sit back and relax and just enjoy some real quality work by somebody that's putting in a lot of work and a lot of pain and a lot of hours. You see me hit the 10 pulls weighted already with the 25. Now I'm going right to the incline with no break, and we're going to climb and get busy. So, you know, guys, when you put your mind to something, as you see that I'm doing right here, your body just follows. And so that's what I really want you guys to understand about determination and pushing yourself to the limit. You know, I didn't think I was going to be able to do some of this stuff that I was doing today. So I want to not necessarily give myself a pat on the back, but I want you guys to see that when you push your mind, you can actually do it, even though you think you may not be able to do it. So, yeah, we did a couple sets of pull-ups right here before, and now we're finna hit the press. I know I said I would do a little press, but maybe later. I went ahead and got it going right then. And so right there, we got the bar set at 185, so we're doing those little small cleans. They're not really a power clean. The power clean, you kind of have to squat and roll your wrist back, and I'm not really doing that, so we're just getting going. I hit 2 reps on that. Felt pretty good. In between sets, and not pictured, I didn't record. I was doing bar push-ups, so on that 185 I had down there, I would do some push-ups on it. And since that's the kind of bar they're going to use for push-ups during this contest that I'm entering this weekend. So that's kind of why I was doing the push-ups. I want to kind of get familiar with that bar. Even though I've done many of those types of push-ups before, going into the contest, I just want to already feel like I'm hitting those kind of reps. Because the bar push-ups are different than your regular normal push-ups where you're just on the ground with your palms out. So these you actually have to wrap the bar and do push-ups. A little more difficult, but I wouldn't say difficult to a degree from like, you know, a 5 to an 8. It's just more like a 4 to a 5. So it's not, it's nothing to be worried about. It's just you need to kind of prepare for it so you don't feel like you're just unprepared. So you see me hit the pulls again. And yeah, we're going back to the incline pull-up bar. I want you guys to see me when I'm doing these reps. This is not easy. So I was trying to explain to you guys before about having to explode. And I'll tell you now, the explosion starts in your mind, but then after that, it goes right to your core. You got to explode with your core. And when you explode with your core, you can see me kind of going upwards like that. And now I'm going to the pulls. It's your core. And then you throw your lats up, and that's just kind of how you get it going. But no, this ain't for kids. So, this is like I said, this is probably one of my best workouts. So I hope you guys drop a like, subscribe to the video, because I know you won't see hardly anything like this on the internet on YouTube, and leave a comment. I want to hear your thoughts. And so now we're going to our next set. I believe it's 185 again. And I was kind of doing pretty much low reps on the barbell activity. So this is press, clean press. Like I said, we're going for strength. This is more of a strength workout. So we're keeping the reps kind of, between 1 to 5 on most of these reps, pretty much all of them, except I think later on I did 7 reps on a incline bench. But for the most part, everything was pretty much 1 to 5. And let's see, I think that was for 3. So I figured out a way to get the sound right, so I'll never have to worry about YouTube flagging my video. I just go on my phone, look at the video I just recorded, and I can open up the link, and at the bottom right, there's a little 3 lines. It's kind of in the center right. You click on that, and then there's a volume at the top left of your iPhone. And you just mute the volume, and it mutes the whole video. So I'll never have to worry about them doing something like that again, because there's no volume in this video. It's just me talking. I've deleted or muted the volume for all these videos, so you won't hear any more songs in my videos. So we won't have to worry about that. Thank goodness. You can see right there, that's my third. Is it my third set? I believe that's a 45. It's a 25. So we did another set of 25. On third set, we're gonna do some more climbing. And once again, like I said, I kept the push-ups out of the video. You guys see me do 1,000,000 push-ups. You don't need to see me do more push-ups. You want to see me get stronger. This is a video about getting stronger. So I want you guys to see the strength building that I'm using in this video. Once again, we're going to climb. Up we go. All right, more pulls. I wanted to go for 15, but I just didn't want to push it too much. So I felt good about the 8 to 10 that I was doing. And yeah, you guys probably just heard me yawn because I am tired. I'm doing this recording fresh out the sauna, so I'm pretty exhausted. So now I'm going to add a little weight. It's 195, so now we're at 195 on the bar. And so back to business, back to the clean press. And, I'm feeling really good. I'm excited. My shoulders feel amazing. My back feels amazing. My upper chest, the top shelf feels amazing. That's why you see that bar fly over my head like that, because I feel incredible right now. So I went for 2 reps, and that felt good. I said, man, let me go for 3. Feel good. So we hit 3 straight. I was feeling on top of the world. I felt so strong at that particular point. I felt like I was going to do something special. I just didn't know what it would be, but I felt like I would do something special. So we got back down to business. And I believe we strapped on the 45 on this one. So you guys know what's up next. I love to see people working out around me. I don't know who that guy is, but I've seen him in the gym before. I often see him over here doing weighted dips. He does weighted dips a lot, so shout out to him. I see him doing weighted dips, regular dips. I see him doing pull-ups as well. A lot of guys trying to, increase their calisthenics. And that's the manager. Well, I don't know if it's the manager. He just works at the gym. And he's basically griping about me slamming the weight down, even though there's floor mats right there that are rubber that absorb the weight when it hits. He wants me to just ease it down or sit it on the, he wants me to rack it basically. And so, he said, it's just concrete under the floor. But, they've got these, that black floor, that's a hard rubber pad. So there's nothing going to happen to the floor. That's exactly what they put those there for, because people would be slamming them with deadlift, presses, squats, and stuff like that. So I just told them, yeah, I got you. Kept it moving. But now we're on to the pull-ups. And you see me getting busy on the pulls, weighted 45. And we're feeling pretty good. Honestly, guys, I am at 100%. I feel so good going into this contest. I feel like nobody stands a chance going up against me. Nobody. I don't care who it is. Your best chance is if I don't show up. If I show up, you're done. So that's what we're feeling right now. So now we got to hit the pulls on the incline. We're doing little to minimal rest on this. I'm only getting 30, 40 seconds of rest before I hit the bar again. This now I've never done. I've never done pulls weighted and then hit more pulls weighted on the incline afterwards. So think about that. I'm doing hard pulls first and then even harder pulls second. Right? I got to jump to the bar on the regular side, then I got to jump on the incline side, then got to climb on the incline side, and then do more pulls. So I'm pushing my limits, guys. I encourage you guys to do the same. If you have that ability, don't be scared to do it.
even if it's just for one rep. That's one rep you weren't going to do, right? So just think about that. If you're ready to take that step with yourself, don't be scared, right? But everybody has a little bit of fear. As you can see, we're going up again, going up on the plates. Now the bar's setting at 205 on the press. And when I said I did something special, right here, this was it. So we got 205 on the bar. See my guy in the background doing the dips, putting in that dip work. Shout out to him. 205 on the bar, guys. And I'll let you guys watch. Maybe you can figure out what I'm about to do, but this is something I've never done. So we clean it, press it. Felt good. I said, you know what? I'm going to go for another one. That right there, folks, is a PR. I've never done 205 for more than one rep. That's the first time I've ever done it for 2 reps. So that's a milestone for me. And it just lets me know, and you guys probably could pick up on this as well, that I'm getting really, really close to that 225 overhead press. So we're going to keep on working, but that was something special for me. I cherish that moment. Of all the things I've done as far as working out, pull-ups, push-ups, muscle-ups, bench, incline, decline, flat, whatever you've seen me do, that's number one for me. Pressing it for 205 for 2. I'm telling you, that's hard. That's really, really hard for me. So really happy to see myself push my limits with that. Of course, we're back on the bar to 45, and now we're getting busy on the pulls. Guys, I like to take it all the way, and I mean as far as I can go with it physically and mentally, because I know there's not a lot of people, I don't know anybody else doing stuff like this. Nobody doing 205 on a press for 2, then hitting the pull-up bar with 45 wrapped around their waist, all within like 90 seconds. So, we are, I'm taking it as far as I can go. I want to be fully ready for this competition, and when it's time to perform, everybody else is just trying to get second. Went ahead and took the belt off. I was a little gassed after the press and then after those 45 weighted pulls, so I didn't do the incline on that one. But yeah. So, yep, you see we add more weight, and we're going to try to hit 215. So I felt like after the 205 for 2, I know I had at least 215 for 1. So I was like, why not? Let's see what happens. And I've hit 215 before many times. So I think I probably hit it a total of about 10, 11 times. So I felt good. I was like, I got it. I got this. But unfortunately, you can see right there, we didn't get it. So right back to square one. You're only as good as your last lift. But you got to be able to take a L as you can take a W. So I said, I'm not going to try it again. I don't want to feel too gassed going into this incline bench. That's what I was thinking. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while. You guys haven't seen me do in a minute. So we're going to hit some of these muscle ups. So we're going to do some muscle ups, and we're going to explode all the way up to that top of that rack. Let's skip it 2 bars right there, and then we go right to the muscle ups. The mindset was 10 muscle ups. Now, I was counting in my mind. Somewhere I lost count. So that's 3 right there. And 4. But I was like, we're doing 10. So I just want to do 10 because I've done 10 before. I usually just do 10 to 12 every time if I go up there. 5. 6, count with me if you want to. These are all muscle ups. That's 7. There's 8. Got a couple more. It's 9. And I thought I did 10, but I only did 9. So, a little disappointed. when you're trying to count and do those muscle ups, it's a little different when you're about 13 feet up in the sky. Yeah, it's 10 feet to the top of that bar, almost 11 feet, honestly. Yeah, it's about 11 feet, and then when you get over the bar, I'm 6'5", so that's another 2 feet, 3 feet over the bar, and you might tend to lose count when you're up that high. So either way, we did 9. We were supposed to count 10, but we just did 9. Just moved on to the incline, and we warmed up with 245. And the form, I was really liking the form, so I knew I was feeling really good. You can see that form is hitting every time. Guys, that's what your form should look like. You see how that bar's coming directly down to my clavicle every single time? I'm driving through the bar with my hips and my shoulders, and see where my hands are placed? That bar is coming up and going down in the same movement pattern. It's like I'm on the Smith machine. That's what your bench rep should look like on the incline. You want to keep the bar as straight as you can. No wiggle. You don't want to let it go too far below your upper chest. You want to try to hit it in that same spot every time. That is complete bar control. And that's what you want. And we're over here at 265. So I said, if I hit 265 for 5, I know I'm going to try something special. So that's 3 right there. That's 4. And even at 4, I knew I had another rep. I felt like I was really, really strong. I was like, I'm getting really strong for this. And so, yeah. And not just that, guys. We were doing 10 pulls in between sets. I wasn't recording them because, once again, you guys have seen me do plenty of pull-ups. It ain't nothing special. You know what my pull-ups look like. You know what my pulls are good money. So we just recorded the benching. And now we're up to 275. This is where I was like, all right. Usually I can do 275 for 1 or 2. I said, if I go 3, I'm going to try 4. Guys, we got busy. I was a little nervous because I was like, if I hit this 275 for 4, I was like, the first rep, I was like, oh, I got it. I knew I had it. I was like, okay, that's 2. I said, can I hit for 2 more? And I was like, man, I might just go for 5. So we're at 275 for 3. Guys, these is clean reps too. 275 for 4. But I set it down because I knew I had 1 more rep. And so what I decided to do, usually I go 295 after this. But I said, if I do 275 for 4, I can get 295 for 2. And so what do we do? Yeah, buddy, you see it. I'm going for that. I'm going for it. This is probably the only time I felt so good about going for 315. I felt so good about this. I felt so ready that I was just like, and the guy behind me, that spotted me, his name is Alex Felipe. Go look him up. This guy won the Ronnie Coleman Classic squat, bench, and deadlift competition. I mean, it wasn't even close. He won it by over like 200 pounds. And when I grabbed that bar, you see how easy I grabbed it off? I felt so good. And it was coming up, and I just ran out of gas right there. So Alex had to rescue me. So this will be a failed attempt at 315, even though I felt good about it. And we went for it, got it just about halfway, and just kind of died out. I can accept that, though. I can accept that. So we went ahead, and I usually cool down with the sets I've already done. So I decided, usually I go to 245 at where I'm at in my progression. When I first started, I would go back to 225. Then, as I got stronger, I would go back down to 245. Now, after trying 315 and failing, I just said, well, I'm going to just go back down to 265. And I just wanted to do 3 to 4 reps per set in between sets, and do pull-ups in between sets, and do 3 sets. So that's what we did. This is kind of my cool down. 265, and we felt good. Guys, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Don't warm up with lightweight. Warm up with a nice heavy set. Let your starting weight be a set that you know you can get, but you know sometimes it gives you trouble. When I first started doing incline, for me, that was about 185. I felt good about 185. I could get it, but sometimes it gives me trouble. And then I got to 205, and I was like, 205 is tough. I would get 4 or 5 reps. That's my guy right there. He spotted me on the last time I was in this position. I did 295, and he spotted me, and I didn't record it, but he was spotting me, and I got it. He spotted it, but I never ever take the lift. I always unrack it myself. So, that's like I said, that's one of my things. I like to unrack my own weight. I want all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of just jacking with me a little bit, and he's strong as an ox too. I seen that guy do 365 on flat bench for 10. So yeah. But like back to what I was saying, don't ever start off with like a easy lightweight that you feel good about. Building your confidence, yeah, you can do it with lightweight, but you can also do it with heavyweight. If you feel strong enough that you're ready to go for it, go for it. But you need to understand that you know that you can get the weight first. You might not be able to get the reps, but you can get the weight, right? So keep that in mind when you start off with your heavy sets. Leave that light stuff alone, man. You don't need it. You really don't. I won't go no lighter than 245 now. When I first started, I was at 185, then 205. Then I finally got to 225. I got to 225 incline when I was doing 330, 335 on flat bench and decline. That's when I said, well, let me just try 2 plates and see how I do it. And the first time I did 225 incline as my first set, I did 4 to 6. I think I did between 4 and 6 reps. I can't exactly remember how many, but I think it was at least 4 to 5, somewhere in there. And so right then I knew, I said, I'm going to go no less than 225 on the incline. And, from there I would build up. And then after about 2 weeks of doing it, 225 for 7 and 8 is what started happening. And so the first and second set that you guys would see would be 225 for 6 or 7, and then 245 for 4 or 5, and then 265 for 1 or 2, and 275 for 1. And so now we've progressed because we've added weight, because I start heavier sets. Now we're at 245 for 7. That's what you saw in the first set. Then 265 for 5, 275 for 4.
All right, folks.
The workout's over, so now we just got to get to the pump.
Definitely had a good workout. So you guys make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the video. That was probably one of my best workouts. I ain't even gonna lie. Set a couple PRs. I never done 205 on press for 2 reps. I've only done it for 1. So we did it for 2. Kind of a cleaning press, but we did get to 2. Took so much out of me, I wasn't even able to do 215 on the next set. But we definitely pushed our limits today, that's for sure. So, love the pump. Of course, you guys saw the failed attempt at 315. Once again, we pushed our limits. I thought I had it. I felt good about it going in. I hit the 275 for 4. Typically, in my mind, I ain't gonna lie, I initially was telling myself 275 for 5, and then I'll go for 315. But even when I did it for 4, I feel like I had 1 in the tank. So I just racked it. So that's why I went for the 315, because I know I could have got 295 for 2. And so instead of just wasting the reps on the 2, I went for the 315 for 1. So it's okay though, I'll take the fail on that, but I already know I'm gonna eventually get there. Might take me maybe a couple more weeks, but I'll be there. So, and of course we got the competition coming up this weekend, and your boy's probably gonna be in the final, or whatever the format is, but I plan on holding that trophy, because I don't feel like there's nothing standing in the way of me winning. You saw the incline pull-ups after the regular pull-ups weighted. So we pushed, I've never done the incline right after regular pull-ups weighted. That's the first time I've done that before. And I did it maybe 3 to 4 times. The last set, I don't think I did it. I was just too tired, and I didn't want to risk getting hurt after doing all those reps, all those presses. I didn't record, but I was doing push-ups in between sets too. But I don't need to record push-ups with you guys. You guys see me do 1,000,000 push-ups. And I didn't do the dips because my left tricep started to irritate me a little bit after the 275 for 4. So I didn't want to risk doing the dips. So I just cut the dips out. But overall, Probably one of my best workouts, easily. With the press, the pull-ups, then the incline bench, guys. When you do workouts like that, you feel gains that day. I feel it. I feel stronger than I was the day before, right now. So, you put in the work, you put in the reps, you put in the time, you put in the pain, your body's gonna reward you. So just keep that in mind moving forward. As long as you're pushing your limits and you're willing to give yourself a chance, you see I had the 315 with the spot because I knew that if I didn't get it, I would have somebody to kind of rescue me on it, and I typically don't do that. But in this situation, this is a milestone I've never reached before, so I thought it was best that I do that. But you still saw me get the lift off the rack. And that's my number one rule when it comes to benching. If you can't unrack it, what are you lifting it for? At least to a degree. You get to 800-900 pounds, or whatever these heavy guys are lifting, you need somebody to help unrack that. That's just too much. Get hurt like that. But yeah. You guys keep subscribing to the channel, man. Of course, we're gonna come back to Dallas with this trophy and punching my ticket to the semis. That's all that's on my mind right now. So subscribe, comment, drop a like, enjoy the video, because when I put this one together, you're gonna love it. Sonic King Fit, man. Y'all be good.